In the big Hyper Touring Comparison 2022 we gathered the fastest bikes that you can also go on tour with. Of course, the Kawasaki Ninja H2SX SE, which scores points with supercharging and a comprehensive electronics package, was also included. Here are our impressions. The Ninja's power is the perfect starting point because the 998cc inline 4-cylinder with supercharging sets this motorbike apart. With 200 horsepower at 11,000 revolutions per minute and 137 Nm of torque at 8,500 revolutions per minute, it takes a long stretch of unrestricted motorway if you want to use its full power. The Kawa chases towards the horizon with absolute madness as soon as the throttle is opened all the way. This not only puts it at the top of our comparison against Aprilia Tuono V4, KTM 1290 Super Duke GT and Suzuki Hayabusa in terms of performance, but also on the current motorbike market. You won't find a touring bike with higher performance values. Power unit scores not only at full throttle. The Ninja H2SX SE pushes with absolute confidence even at low revs and always presents itself in a dignified manner. To be honest, the biggest grin comes from mid-range when the gears are shifted through by the standard quickshifter and the chirping of the supercharger fills the air when downshifting. Pricing policy is a buzzword that has been used more often by some manufacturers than others in recent years. In Kawasaki's case, the term is rarely used because even with the Ninja H2SX SE, you don't have to spend a penny more. Electronic suspension, 6-axle IMU, launch control, multi-stage power and traction control modes, tire pressure monitoring system, front collision warning, blind spot assist, cruise control with distance keeping function, hill start assist, keyless go, emergency brake signal function, LED cornering lights and connectivity, all on board as standard. All these systems are controlled via the 6.5 inches color TFT display, which is easy to operate after a short familiarization phase. Prices differ only in the equipment lines, which differ in the amount of luggage systems. Electronically, everything remains the same if you go for the C variant. The C abbreviation should no longer be unknown to Kawasaki fans. Models with this suffix have upscale equipment and also the electronic chassis called KECS. This adapts to the road and riding conditions and also changes its characteristics with the selected riding mode. Especially on longer stretches of motorway and during normal driving you can feel how sophisticated the system is. It confidently irons out bumps and provides a lot of comfort. Only at very spotty speeds would we have hoped for clearer feedback. After all, 268.5 kilograms have to be moved through the bends. But why all the electronics? I just want to ride my motorbike. I hear some of you say. I can calm you down though because front collision warning, blind spot assist and cruise control with distance keeping function can be deactivated when not needed. It should be mentioned however that the systems work well and reliably. On the motorway the cruise control regulates to match the vehicle in front whereby the system finds it easier to orient itself to cars than to the narrow profile of a motorbike. The blind spot assistant makes itself known with an orange warning light in the rear view mirrors, just as we already know it from the automotive world. This is a helpful support, but we have not dispensed with the classic shoulder view. Finally, the collision warning only serves as a visual indication on the display and does not intervene in the brakes. Traveling, commuting and an insanely fast ride on the home twisties, the Ninja H2SX SE is simply suitable for everything. In such a comparison, however, weaknesses stand out that are less noticeable in individual use. We notice just such a flaw in the brake. On paper it promises superiority. Semi-floating 320mm Brembo double brake discs are gripped by radially mounted Brembo Stylema monoblock 4-piston calipers. At sporty speeds, however, it unfortunately does not offer the bite we would have expected. This is in no way to say that it underperforms, but it was not the strongest brake in the comparison. Let's see what my colleague thinks about the Ninja.
The Kawasaki Ninja H2SX SE gets full points from me in this comparison. No other bike takes the topic of hyper-touring as seriously as the green one, and that should be rewarded. The seating position with its comfortable but front-wheel oriented layout meets the requirements of a sports tourer, while the electronic suspension can be adjusted to all asphalt conditions quite comfortably at the touch of a button anyway. The rest of the equipment, with all the usual safety features, LED lighting, radar cruise control, blind spot assist and collision warning, can be considered complete if not over complete. I'm only surprised that the adjustable windshield has been dispensed with. But the wind protection is fine even with the protruding fairing. The best thing about the whole bike is the engine, which with its supercharger impresses not only with its sheer power of 200 horsepower, but also with its tremendous power from idle speed. Only the Suzuki Hayabusa with its 1340cc capacity can keep up, while the V4 engine of the Aprilia and the V2 of the KTM are great fun from the middle onwards. But they can't even come close to the sovereignty of the inline 4. I'm a little disappointed with the brakes. I've experienced much more powerful Brembo Stylema systems on other bikes. All in all, however, the Ninja H2 SX SE is a fully equipped hyper-tourer which, with its unique chirping supercharged engine, also stands out refreshingly from the competition.
So what's our verdict? Well, it is actually quite simple. You can't get more hyper-touring than this. The Kawasaki Ninja H2 SX SE combines brute power with touring qualities and packs plenty of equipment on top. If you buy a motorbike like this and want to ride exclusively on asphalt roads, you've arrived in the top league. How are you going to top 200 horsepower? If only the brakes were a bit stronger. But the whole thing has its price. Such an all-rounder wants to be paid for.